if you don't like to be recorded, please put up a disguise and mute yourself. And she just said how to say her name, or they said, right, let's see, it's Saka, right? Maybe? Okay.
Skaya,
Skaya? Is that how?
right?
I'm horrible at pronouncing. Skaya.
Skaya.
Yeah. Thank you, Skaya. Um, I want to make sure that you're here for the recorder class. You don't have to know how to read music or even have an instrument. We're going to go over all of that. It's going to be great. It's from the very beginner, know nothing about anything, but I don't have anything to do with this hour, so I thought I'd come hang out, to I have a recorder and I need to know how to play it better. Okay, that's what we are. We are going to talk a little bit about the history of the recorder because we are in the SEA. It's great. And we'll talk about how to choose a new instrument and how to take care of it. Some of the basic basics on making a good sound and some of the techniques. Motivating tacos. No, I can't send any tacos to you, but I've came across this recently and it's really helped me improve my playing. So I want to share it with everybody I can. And so we've got it. Now, before I get you started, if you have not found the handout in Ansteorra, Kingdom of Ansteorra webpage, or the what did I name that? The repository for class handouts. They're both Facebook pages. If you're not on Facebook and you want a copy, let me know before we leave, and I'll try to send one or put it up on. No, I don't have it on this one. I'll try to send it to you if you'll let me know before we get through off. Okay. All right. Let's see if I send that. You just told me you don't have one. We will figure it out. I'll be thinking in the back of my head. The reason I want you to have one is that there's some links for YouTube videos. And yes, this could actually take place of my class because she is amazing. Her name is Sarah Jeffries, and she is part of Team Recorder, and she's on YouTube. Amazing. I was just getting ready to do this class the first time, and the 25th of March, she put up what I was going to say. I'm just basically saying what she said in her video starting the recorder, what you need to know. And I have a link in the handout, so I'll make sure Saka has one. She's amazing. I was able to take a course with her in September. She is in Europe. I'm sorry. My brain doesn't always work as well as I want it to anymore, but fantastic. Watch all of her videos, learn. She's great. Better than I could ever be. Real quick history. The recorder, the Latin base from the word, yes, it will be in the handout, is recordaris, and it means to remember, the verb to record. That's what it is. Now, obsolete meaning for it actually meant in Latin actually meant to sing like a bird, and that is what we're trying to do. It's light, it's airy, and you're just trying to show what you know. You've remembered it, you've recorded, and that's why it is now a tape recorder and a video recorder. It's recording what we know, is to remember. Now, the 8 holes on the recorder, actually, let me do this one instead. You've got 7 in the front. Let's see if I can get it. Well, this one still has a double. These 2 are double holes at this point, but then in period, they were not. They were single. 7 holes in the front and 1 in back. That is the recorder, in the 1350s in England, it was named recorder. And we have images of recorder in artwork as far back as 1410. There is a the known existence in Spain was as early as the 13th century. The recorders were used as an instrument that was played both by professionals and amateurs, as well as all classes of people by the 15th century. And even the 16th century, Henry VIII was an avid recorder player. He said like over 70, 75 recorders, and was known to have daily where he would practice singing, playing the recorder, playing the Virgils, as well as composing music and writing poetry. So it's kind of, we always think of him as this bloody king that cut everybody's head off. Well, he was also a very talented musician. Making music in daily life before 1700s, 1800s was very integral. It was a very integral part of a person's day. They didn't have a record to go listen to or a tape or go online and listen. Nothing was perfect either. So everybody's, oh, I've got to be perfect. I've got to play it perfectly. No, play it with joy. Enjoy it. Play it. Don't worry about it. The only music that they had available was live music. You didn't do it. So it could have been that a field hand was out humming to himself while he was plowing the field. A good wife was making bread by whistling. There was music everywhere, and instruments were either made themselves or they were purchased after saving the money to do so, and it was everywhere. Basically, all this is boils down to the ability to play the recorder or sing or play any musical instrument would be a great addition to your persona's skill set. Okay, so recorder, the reason I love the recorders are awesome. They're fantastic. I love them. They're great. I taught elementary music for 30 years. I have taught fourth and fifth graders recorder until my brains oozed out of my ears. They had to learn a good sound first, but so recorders are natural to me. Drums are very important. If you can find a salster, help me, Elizabeth. It's not a palm. It's
Sultry.
psaltery.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
starts with a P, so
Starts
throws
with
you
a
off.
P, and it's not a palmster. Salter, harp, uh, anything. It will. Thank you. There it is. She taught a class this morning, and she'll teach a class next week, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Next
We'll get.
Saturday, I think at 6 p.m. Actually, I'm not sure. Actually, I think the schedule's messed up. So it may be Sunday, it may be Saturday. I need clarification.
Sunday at 10:30 a.m. is what I have written down. So,
Yeah, they said they moved it, but then that's what got published. So I need to clarify that.
um, so on to, I need a new recorder, don't you? We all need a new one, right? Doesn't matter how many you have, you need a new one always. Um, just like most of the instruments in the Renaissance and Middle Ages, sure, why not? Saka, everybody needs a better one, and the new one is the better one. Doesn't matter. But the instruments are all in families, and you start with the little bitty ones and go as big as you can. And that's with the strings, drums, um, and the recorder. The smallest one I have, and I'm not going to play it because the mic didn't like the soprano going too high, but this is a sopranino, and there's one that's even smaller by 2/3, so it's about this big. There she has it. Elizabeth has this gherkin. I call it a gherkin. I'm sure it's pronounced something else.
Yeah, Garkland. I think it's about
Garland.
6 inches long.
Mm-hmm. It is. This is a third of size of. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. I've got to remember my proportions. Um, This is a third of the size of the soprano. You can't see it. There it is. So, sopranino, soprano. The soprano is 2/3 of the size of the alto. And the alto is 2/3 of the size of the tenor. Can you see it? I'll try to get my hat behind it. What happens, that's my brother, by the way. I don't think he knew that. Is so every other one is 2/3 smaller than the one before it, the one bigger to it. But if you skip one, so I've got the soprano and the tenor, I'm skipping the alto. This is exactly 1/2 the size of the tenor. The sizes that are 1/2 or double have the same fingerings. And all that means is if you finger this one, it's going to play a sound that's called G. This is not half a size, so this is going to be C. It's just a different pitch, and you've got just those two sounds. So unlike if you've played in a band and you played clarinet, and you learned the soprano clarinet, you learned the alto clarinet, and you learned the bass clarinet, and then you had that contrabass that nobody wanted to play because it kind of stunk, because nobody ever wanted to play it. Anyway, I was a bass clarinet major, and those all fingered the same, and the composer changed what they wrote on the page so that you were playing the right sound. Recorders don't do that. You have to know what to do. So my suggestion, unless you want to learn both sets, is decide if you want to do the soprano or the alto first and start with that set. Then you can add the other set in. Okay. I love the tenor. It's my favorite. And so that's what I started with. On to, there are two different types of fingerings. And when you're looking online for a recorder, you're going to see German and Baroque fingerings. You want Baroque fingering. Baroque. It's not Baroque. It's actually Renaissance. It's what like Ganassi and all the ones that wrote the different, hold on, my brain left. I'm blaming it on the stroke I had in February, but I think it was already gone before then. But the method books, I don't know what I was trying to find. All the composers and teachers in the Baroque time period said, oh, we're not going to rewrite all of this. We're going to use theirs. So that's where the Baroque fingering system came from. It actually came from period. So you want a Baroque fingering system. This is all in the handout. You also want what's called A440. Now that's only going to come up if you're getting a recorder that is a different, hold on, back up. I showed you two different styles. Let me get them on the screen together. You've got this one with the little blurps and fuzzies and whoops. And then you have this one that's straighter. See if I can get it in there so you can see it straighter. This is more of a Renaissance style, and this is a Baroque style. If you're getting a Baroque plastic recorder, it's going to be A440. If you're getting a wooden recorder in a Renaissance style, or maybe even some of the Baroque styles, you're going to want to make sure it's A440. And that's just a modern standard that says we're putting this sound right here at 440 megahertz vibrations at a time. All you need to worry about. So things to look for. The other thing is if you can get to see if I got these two right, a windpipe, and that's just where they go in. you can see this is curved a little bit more than this one is. And if you're going to, if you can see the windpipe, or you ask the person you're buying it from, I'm talking about you having to do it online because, you know, hey, we've had to work online for a while. The curved will give you a slightly a better, I think it's a better tone. But more importantly, it'll let the moisture that collects go to what, well, gutters, I guess is the only thing I can think of. These two ends, the curved part, and it'll let the moisture just kind of slide away rather than getting caught up in the windpipe here, and it'll make it easier to play. This is a good instrument. Don't let it fool you. It is probably the cheapest Yamaha they have. I like Yamaha. It's a well-known brand. Almost everybody carries it. You know you're going to get a good instrument. There are others that are good out there that you may want to try, but I know Yamaha will give you a good instrument. So, and it's going to be in pitch. You're going to be able to play it with other people. Any instrument you have, if you play it by yourself, it doesn't matter if it's A440. It doesn't matter what fingerings you're using because you're by yourself and you're the star. Okay. I'm very lucky to have this is a Mollenhauer, and the tenor that I brought up was a Mollenhauer. And they are not quite Renaissance recorders, but they're kind of a hybrid cross between. And they're, it's called a dream recorder. So it's a Mollenhauer, somebody's dream. Starts with an A, and I'm sorry, I didn't even write it down, and I don't know, but they're great. They're less expensive than a full Renaissance recorder, so I could afford one. Yay! But you need to decide if you're thinking about getting a new recorder, because you know, hey, we all need one, right? You need to balance a lot of things. One is obviously price point, but if you're planning only on going outside and playing at outdoor events, get a really good plastic recorder. It's not gonna the heat, the change in the humidity inside and outside can hurt this recorder. This one's fine. Now I do want to give a shout out to, this is the Yamaha. It's called an EcoDear, D-E-A-R, E-C-O-D-E-A-R. And again, it's in the handout. It's a 402B. B is Baroque. Oh yeah, you're right. Glen Aubin would be the same. I used to live down in Houston, so yeah. The other, oh no, I don't have it out. I'm so sorry. Oh, the tenor is. The other series in Yamaha is the 300B series, and they've got the windpipe that's curved. Now that I put that up there, I hope it is because I haven't actually looked at it. Yes, it is. Yay! And the tone holes are slightly beveled on the inside, just tiny bit. It helps seal, because if they're straight, it doesn't. It's supposed to, but I don't know. That's what they said. I don't know. So, and again, that is in the handout. But this is a plant-based plastic, and I think it sounds a little bit warmer, a little it's a mellow. It's got that mellow tone here. This is the tenor. I mean, this is the just plastic, and it is, I forgot what it's called. This is a 24B, and this is the EcoDear 402B. Now let's try this one first. It's a good recorder. It's really good. If you've ever had children, you know that song. Just a little fuller. Okay, not going to make people listen to that twice. This is, I think, this is the cheapest that they have. And like I said, it's a great recorder. It would go great with an ensemble. You see us playing at an event, bring it on over. I'll get you music. We'll be great. I'll show you where you can get music beforehand, so it's going to be even better. Are there any questions about how to get a new recorder? What you're looking for? Always ask anybody who you see playing at an event. Ask us. More than likely, I'll have one you can try out, especially the tenor. I've got 2 tenors that I don't mind you trying. Then we'll spray it down with the, if you've been in band, it's the pink stuff, the mouthpiece sanitizer, and wash it out. It'll be great. You can play it, sanitize it again. It's awesome. But like, especially the tenor and the alto, if you feel that your hands are really small, it may not be comfortable, and you can't play well if you're not going to practice if it's not comfortable. And if you don't practice, you're not going to play as well. Just sorry, I have no magic pill. Real quick on cleaning instruments. Most instruments will come with a cleaning rod, and it's just a plastic rod with, let's see if I can find the hole. Is that even the end that has the hole in it? There it is. And you put, just like a flute, you put a piece of cloth that's not ever provided. This is just cotton, black cotton, and you put it through the instrument and clean out the okay, spit. We're not going to call it moisture anymore. On the wooden instruments, they usually come with a cleaning rod that looks like an oboe cleaning rod, and you would take the instrument apart. This comes in 2 pieces. This one has 3, but you really don't have to take much of that apart, and clean the inside out. You have to be very careful of the ramp and the window and the lip of the ramp right there at the top. Don't touch that part, okay? As well as the part, it's actually in here. It's inside, so you can't touch it, so don't. But if you jam your all the way up in there, it's going to hurt it because you'll touch it. So just be careful when you clean that. But if you ever get this one, let me know, because we'll have to go together, okay? Are there any questions about getting a new recorder or taking care of one? No. You can put this in the dishwasher on the top rack and wash it. I would do it with my classroom set, so it's good. Real quick, because I didn't put this in the handout, but in order to know what notes to play, if you decide you want to learn to play music, read music and play it, yes, 440 is preferred. Especially if you're going to play with a group, because that way everybody, that's for everything. Alto, tenor, soprano, all the instruments need to be tuned to 440. So, this is a fingering chart. Let me see if I can get it where it doesn't glare so much. Oh, I'll just use the other one I get. I don't know where it is. There it is. I thought this one was harder to hold up. Can you see it? And what it does is it says this note right here, you have to cover that many holes. And since they're all colored in, you're going to cover all of them. This is for my soprano, so you're going to cover all of them to play C. Okay. For the alto, that's not the same note. That if you covered all of them, it would be an F. So if you read music, that makes sense. If you don't, I'm sorry. We'll get to it. It's okay. But if they're not all, if there's just a circle like this one is, I don't even know what this one is. Over here, is that a B? I think that's a B. My eyes don't focus like that backwards. Okay. So this is the thumb, and that's the first finger, so that's a B on the soprano recorder. And so that's how you kind of read a fingering chart. Your recorder should come with one. If it doesn't, go online. Just make sure that if you have an alto, you're looking for an alto fingering chart. If you have a soprano or any of the variants, you're looking for a soprano fingering chart. Okay. All right. Are we good? Everybody's okay? Talk up or type up or whatever you need to do to let me know if you're not. I would love when we can get together that yeah, it's a Baroque, it's a B fingering. Oh, okay, it's a B. Yeah, that I was showing. Yes, thank you. I was trying to keep up with the chat too. When we get together and actually see each other and play in the same room, please say hi. Please bring your recorder and please play. It'll be great. Oh. Now, to make a good sound on a recorder, and I'm going to get my tenor back because it is my favorite. I love it. Yes, right. Elizabeth said it very well in the chat. And it's not just recorders. The piano is tuned to A440 and trumpets and violins and timpanis, and you know, it's just a standardized modern standard now. In period, they went all over the place. And so you would have makers making a set of recorders together so that they all sounded good together. And that still happens. You can still get that, but that's why it wasn't as I can't open that link or I will lose you because I'm not on a computer. So is that a recorder that you're showing? Okay. Can you tell me the model number? Okay. Elizabeth, it is an A440. I don't know any. Oh yeah, 312 it's a good one. I don't know any Yamahas that are not A440. Okay. Oh, that's your 312? Is that what you have? Okay. I have something that's a 3 something or other that's got a wood grain to it that I like. And, but like I said, love this one.
Yeah, so sorry, I couldn't get myself unmuted. Yes, this is what she's pointing to
Okay.
when I've
Yes,
got,
it's A440.
yeah.
Yes, and probably the only recorders that are going to be not 440 are going to be historical remakes.
Right.
So most likely you're going to get a 440. It'd be very unusual for you to not.
Mhm.
Again, that's just if you're actually going for Renaissance recorders. Sometimes they make them in different pitches, and that's when you need to start looking at it. But all the plastic ones will be 440, or maybe even 442, which is close enough.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good to know.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Left hand goes on top, just like the flute, just like the clarinet, just like the saxophone, just like the bassoon. Left hand's on top. Okay. Now, if you need, and I need this for like all my recorders, and it doesn't matter if it's, well, the Sopranino, I don't use one, mainly because they don't make one, but they make thumb rests. And they look like this when they're not on the recorder. As I drop it and show it, let's see if I do it this way. Does that, ooh, Dana, you're not good today. So, and what happens is that you would take the foot joint off. This is for an alto, and you slide it up on it, adjust it to where you want it, and that'll work for the plastic, and there's one for each size. You can get a tenor, alto, or soprano. Love them. It allows me to rest my hands, makes them very relaxed, and I don't feel like I'm going to drop the recorder, even though I'm only holding it with two thumbs. I have on this one and on my plastic, this is an adjustable. Is that better? Or if I put it, yeah, there we go. It's an adjustable thumb rest. So this is a screw, it unscrews. This will go to my hook for my neck strap. I need this in order to hold the instrument. It's an adaptive, I don't know what word I need to call it, thing. It's an adaptive thingy. Usually the bass recorders have one of these to help you hold it. This is actually a bass recorder neck strap. Now, does it come with the rest already there, Elizabeth? Or did you have to put it on?
It came with it on there. I think most bass recorders do come. I've never seen one that doesn't come with an attachment. Mine doesn't have the cool adjustable. Again, I need a dark backdrop, but yeah, it's not adjustable like yours, but it has a little place where you can hook your strap.
Yeah, that's good.
That's pretty imperative for the bass, in my opinion.
Yes. This is one I bought to put on after. It was not part of the instrument. But what I have, you can see it kind of here, is this is one of the hooks, the M3 hooks. It's just the sticky part of it. So I could decide, is this where, yeah, command strips. I could decide where I wanted it. Is it really going to work there? And peel it off if it didn't work. And try it again. I have it on both the, well, I think I have it on the plastic tenor too, but I've got a rest. It doesn't have the hook because I don't need it for the soprano. But as soon as I decide exactly, yes, that's what I'm going to do, and I have the guts to do it, I'm going to cement it on there with 10-minute contact cement. I think that's what the maker of the thumb rest said to do. This one has screws, and I'm going to take it to a clarinet repair person and put it on. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. But if you need some kind of help for an adaptive mechanism, use it. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be as easy as possible. Okay. Your left hand goes on top, and you need to make sure that the tone holes are in, especially this top one, is in line with the windway, not the wind, well, yeah, the windway and the ramp and your window. It's all right here. It's especially on the bigger recorder, that left hand, the holes are made to fit. The smaller recorders are going to be in a straight line, so it doesn't really matter. And in period, they actually made it to where there were keys on both sides for the big recorders, and you could play it with anything on top or not. But play it with your left hand on top, please. Just please. Because on the small recorders, they have those double holes. Can you see them? When you're playing chromatic notes, it's easier to slide your hand this way to get them in tune. If you had it the other way, oh, this feels wrong. Oh, ugh. I can't even get them closed. You're opening the big one first instead of the small one, so they're not in tune. So left hand on top. Do not put your teeth on the mouthpiece. Don't put your teeth down on that. It's not good for it. You're going to beat it up. And I took a long time for me to not do that. I mean, years. We're talking decades. I put my teeth, my front teeth, on top of the mouthpiece because that's what you do with a clarinet and a saxophone. So if you don't want to mar it up, you put a little sticker there. They make that. But I found out actually just this September, if you put your teeth on the mouthpiece, that causes just a tiny bit of tension. And everything about the recorder needs to be relaxed. So let's see if I can do it. I've been working on getting relaxed, and so I don't know if I can tense it up or not. So. It just flows out. There's no tension. You're breathing out into the mouthpiece, and keeping your teeth off of that helps. Okay, whatever. You want to use a warm breath, so like you're trying to warm up your hands in the winter. Not a cold breath like you're trying to, cool down your chili. And you can feel the difference on your hand when you do that. You're always going to use the warm breath. Always. You're going to breathe into it. You will change kind of where your breath is depending on what octave you're on. The higher the octave, it'll feel faster because instead of blowing, well, you're still going straight through. Try a couple of the low notes. And then a high note. It's going to feel faster because you're going to have to get up into your head to make it work. And it may be a little bit faster. Okay. The recorder, I don't know if everybody's here when I said this, but the recorder is a soft instrument. It's in the soft band. It's not in the loud band. They had both, by the way, in Renaissance. Loud bands are crumb horns and brass and drums. And that's about it. There may have been some strings, but the soft were the recorders and the strings. If you want a louder recorder sound, you just have more people playing the recorder. That's all there is. Always start your air with your tongue, though, and you're not gonna touch the windpipe. You're not doing it there. You're gonna do it right there behind your teeth. Okay. And when I teach this to fourth graders, you're all doing while I'm doing it. So but it's right behind your teeth where the gum meets is where I do it. But behind your teeth is where you're going to start and stop your air. Well, you're going to start your air there. You can either just stop blowing or you can stop it with the tongue. So try a couple where you're starting. Just start the air with the tongue. I only took 2 breaths during that. When I changed the note, I took a breath. Do not breathe in between each note. It sounds like this when you breathe between each note. That's starting it with just the air, no tongue in that. Not good. Don't do it. If I was your 4th grade music teacher, I would make you try again, okay? But there are basically, you come to the, oh, back up, forgot something. When you're touching your tongue, you can basically think of 3 different consonants. It can be lu, it can be do, or it can be tu. And lu is the softest. Tu is the hardest. Sorry. So try some loos and some twos. See if you can see the difference. Sorry. Okay. Play around with those is a good thing to be doing. And there are 3 distinct systems of muscles that you're going to be using when you play the recorder. The breath, which is the energy, provides the energy, and it needs to be that nice soft breath. It really takes a lot more control than anybody ever thinks of when you're learning to play the recorder. Your tongue is the valve that starts and stops the energy. And you can stop it with just turning the energy off, turning the breath off, or you can stop it with the valve. And you get to decide that. The composer tells you when to start and what to start with. If it's got an accent on it, it's going to be a T sound. If it doesn't, it's going to be a lu or do. But the composer tells you when and where to stop it or start it, but you can decide how to stop it. And then you have to have your fingers control the ups and downs. And everything has to work together. And that is very hard to do. And if you're working on something, let's see. Okay, messed up on the fingerings completely. Usually I can't get that far without flubbing up the tongue fingering connection. It's got to be happening at the same time. Okay. So we kind of got how to make a good sound. You gonna say something, Elizabeth? Oh, you were leaning forward, so I thought you were gonna. I'm gonna put a little segment in here right now. That's all you need to make music. You don't have to read music. I think I'm talking to people who know how to read music though. But if you don't, it's okay. You don't have to know. You can noodle around. I didn't know what I was doing, really. Noodle around, make a good sound, and if you're out by yourself in your camp doing it, they're going to think you're wonderful because you are. You're amazing. You can play a recorder. Kings played recorders. They're awesome. Okay. They even had the special king part in all of the recorder books. That was a very important part. Only the king could play it. Now, sometimes it was the easier of the hard parts, you know? Laurel Queen of Arms plays the recorder. And that is, who is that now?
It's Emma Featherston in Moonshadow.
Oh,
So hopefully when she is not Laurel Queen of Arms, she will play the recorder again. But she hasn't been coming since they made her Laurel Queen of Arms. But
she's got a big job.
she does. She does.
Huge job, and I think she's done it before too, hasn't she? This is not her first time,
Yeah,
so
this
she
is
knew
her
what she was
second time.
getting into.
She had just bought one of the Dream recorders when she kind of
Oh.
dropped out. So yeah, one of the Sopranos.
Mhm. So this is it. I saved up money. I sold a house, got a recorder. So yes. All right. This has been a lot of information, and I know it's been a lot. Want to Anytime you do learn anything new, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of practice, and a lot of patience to get to where you want to get to. I hope that we're talking about tacos now. I know y'all were hungry when you got here and wanted to talk about tacos all of a sudden. But we're going to talk about tacos. There's a gentleman who is a motivational speaker, and he says that motivation is basically tacos, travel, and transformation. And tacos is your joy. You start with tacos, you start with the joy. And once you have that joy about it, everything's easier. And I'm not talking just about recorder, it's anything, especially any arts and sciences in the SCA. If you don't like it, please don't do it. Your time is too valuable. You are too valuable. Don't make yourself sick over it just because you think you have to do it to get something out of it. No. We want you to find your joy. I don't know any Laurel that doesn't want that. Okay? So find your joy. If it's easy to say that. Find your joy. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Well, that means finding your joy in everything. And the only example I can think of is the one I put in the handout. I've been trying to think of another one so you have at least two. But I know that as a musician, I was went through college on a music scholarship, bass clarinet scholarship, as a matter of fact. And I know intellectually that learning scales on any instrument is going to make you play better. Any instrument, including the recorder. Ugh. I don't like playing scales. I don't care how you dress them up, it's a scale. I want to go get right into that repertoire and play that. Well, again, this September, I decided scales are worth it. I'll try it. And that was one of my goals with Sarah. And so, you know what? It does make you play better. You've got a set of notes that are immediately under your fingerings. So you see a run and you're, oh, and you just do it. You don't think about it, you just do it. So even if it's a little part that's just really, I don't want to do that part, know that it's going to, if you do it better, it's going to lead to joy. That's where the travel kind of comes in. The little tiny bits that get you closer to your joy, it's going to add up. It doesn't have to be anything big. I'm not playing every scale. Minors go away. I'm not dealing with them yet. I have most of my majors memorized and a couple of minors, or a couple of modes, which are the Renaissance and medieval scales. And I already see the benefit of it. So it's all the little things add up. Just leave it there. But make sure that what you're doing, your goal, your project, your piece is something that's going to excite you or challenge you or push you into something new. And, if it feels a little scary, that's a good thing. It's okay. The more you travel, the more it's going to be more enriching, and your tacos are going to taste better. You're not just going to get that one taco from Taco Bell, the crunchy tacos that are cheap. No, you can get all the tacos. You can get the breakfast tacos. You're going to be able to go to the taco trucks and know which ones to order. And as you try more and more things and you travel more and more, you're going to see a transformation happen, and you're going to have more joy, and it's not going to be the end. My motto, as when we got mottos for whatever rank, I don't remember what rank, is it grant, or you get to choose a motto. I don't remember when you got supporters when you're a grant maybe, and okay, grant. Well, my motto is love the process. And for me, that means to enjoy all the little annoying steps between the beginning and your joy, because it's not going to end. There is a link in the, yay! Heralds are awesome. There's a link in the handout where the video that what I tell you about tacos came from. It's Ivan said the bit starts at 2 and 35 second mark, so that you can go and look at it. And he's really interesting. And you know, I guess I thought about it, but never really, really thought about it. Are we good? Make sure I haven't been I've been reading them as they pop up, so I want to make sure I didn't miss tacos for everyone. Yay! Yay!
Do you have a book that you recommend for beginning recorder players? Uh,
um, what do you want in the book?
well, so what I normally do is I I make them learn the simplest things in Avatar, right? So an adult who's transferring over, who already knows how to read music,
Okay.
that's what I do, and then uh, I toss some of the Steve Rosenberg first recorder. But somebody who's kind of isolated or who's not coming. I guess that's what I'm thinking is I would like to have another book in my back pocket
Mm-hmm.
for somebody who maybe is learning to read music or a child, perhaps, who
Don't know how to read
recorder is
music.
their first instrument. So.
The recorder guide, and this is a one shot gets them all, because this is actually for both the soprano. Well, you can't see it. Hold on. Gives you soprano fingerings and alto fingerings. As long as you know what instrument you're playing, you know which ones to play.
Hmm.
It is pitches to work this way. It goes through and it tells you
Hmm.
like a little introduction or the forward. I don't know what the forward says. I never read the forward, but it tells you a little bit about how to read music.
Hmm.
It's very little, and the different play what's the recorder's about. I think this is more as flats and sharp. So the first part is kind of how to read music, and then it gets into this is how you play B, and this
Hmm.
is the whole note, quarter note, how to read rest. In the handout, I have 5 articles that I had printed in our newsletter that show you how to read music as well.
Hmm.
And Sarah, oh, I've just forgotten her last name. Hold on. Sarah, where are you, Sarah? Sarah Jeffries. All of her videos, all of them. Um, Even if they don't know how, I was going to say, if they know how to read music, and this link, you're going to laugh when I show it to you. This link is in the handout as well.
Hmm.
But Music Pile, it's free. If you don't know how to read music, start on page, is 4, page 4. The brawls, nice and easy.
Hmm.
Use your fingering chart so you know which one. That one means this one. The only thing you need to look for is that flat means it's a B flat. So get with me and I'll tell you where that is. But other than that, these are all in like B, all in F or G, it looks like. This first 2 pages. And it's free. Did I say it was free? So, and it's going to get you into what we play in Ansteorra and what we play. This is 2019, and it's pug.net, pug.net.
Hmm.
Good place. You can tell with all the markings that we use it.
Hmm.
Now, If you want to spend money, I would suggest this book by Al. He's got 3 of them, and this one is the popular dance music, early period and popular dance music. There's some really good arrangements in it, but a lot of the arrangements that are in this one are also in the free one. So get the free one. I know he's going to, well, why are you dissing? I'm not dissing. I'm just saying it's free. There is a Ansteorra Musicians Collective Facebook page. They're great. Also, IMSLP is a free sheet music PDF download page. I have the link in the handout as well. But IMSLP, will Google that and you'll get to it. There's also an American Recorder Society, and I'm a member of that, and I think Llewellyn and Zena are members of that as well. There's a local group in Austin and in Dallas, but their national group has been having a lot of free beginning classes where you actually have a teacher and you do it online on Zoom, and you can learn from them. So look at their website. There's a American Recorder Society Facebook group as well. So are there any questions? Did I answer yours, Rhiannon, about what else to send him to? And I did not let me put this back up on the screen so you can look at it again if you need to, because I did not put this one on the link, on the handout.
Kolbach and Nitka. Okay, thank you. I got it copied down.
Okay. It's like it starts thinking you don't know anything. I like my books to start that way, and it'll take you through. I don't know how many notes it goes through. I'm sorry. If I need to leave again, let me know. I can't. Okay. Is there something else you would like to know that I didn't cover? Because I'm teaching this class at 6 in the morning next Saturday for the Arctic Wars. That's it. That's what they're called.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
That'll be people on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, I'm like, you might get some Europeans attending your class.
And I'm just gonna say, go see Sarah. She'll teach you everything you need to know. Listen to a lot of recorders. She's a good person to start with. She will give you other good people. She's a professional recorder player. I'd have to look up some more. Probably it would come up on YouTube to find. I don't even know what's in my iTunes library right now. But the more you listen to good recorder or players, the better your sound is going to be, because you know what it's supposed to sound like. One of the things, once you get what you think is a really good sound, what you want to try to play around with is shake and slide your valve. You can change your soft palette, bring it up, bring it down. It's things do that a lot. And think of different vowel sounds to see if I'm doing any of it. I just thought of this, so I have no idea what it's going to sound like. Some of them maybe. I can hear a little bit of a difference when I'm changing back in here, but it may be something that works, maybe not. I just thought of it, so. But I know that when you're playing the high notes, you raise your eyebrows to go flat. That'll make them go sharp. Don't know how? Don't care. I know it works. It works for fourth graders and fifth graders, and it works. I even saw Sarah do it once. She's doing her eyebrow thing. Oh, yeah, but I thought it. We were talking about above the staff, what singers will do for you. The recorder is really kind of a an extension of the singing voice in some ways, because if you have tension in while you're singing, it's not going to sound good and it's going to hurt. Also, if you're noodling and you're playing for hours and hours a day and your fingers hurt or your wrist hurt or any part hurts, stop. This should not hurt at all. Okay? Doesn't matter what instrument you're playing. If you start to hurt, don't push past it. Stop. See if you can relax into it, because you hold it in a relaxed way. It should just kind of come out of your arm and hold. Oh, look, I'm holding this. Ah, no tension. Everything's great, you know? I said 2 hours because I knew it was going to take at least an hour and a half, but we only just barely got an hour in.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I really echo what you're saying. I was never a good alto recorder player, but I had played alto recorder for years and years and years. And only this past year did it finally occur to me. I don't have the wind for the instrument to begin with, and uh, and that finger is substantially shorter than the other ones. And so as I was getting older, well, it's my fourth finger that is the really short one. So I couldn't actually on my left hand get down to the opening, right? So I was like stiffening that finger out straight to be able
um,
to cover the hole. And, as I'm getting older, that's no good, right? That's just doing something uncomfortable with one of my fingers on the instrument. So I bought a soprano and gave the alto away because, like, okay, well, like I said, I was never very good at it anyway. And as it turns out, right, like my hands were just not appropriate for
mhm.
the instrument. So I'm kind of sad though, because if I can't finger an alto, I'm sure a tenor is, well, I can't, that finger won't even reach down to that.
um, you'd be surprised because on the tenor, well, it's offset more. So it's actually closer and easier to hit when than like on the soprano where it's right underneath.
Hmm.
And I don't know about the alto if it's, let's look at the alto. See if it's right underneath or, yeah, see my alto is right underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tenor, it's easier for me to hit this one. Or it's,
Mm-hmm.
Probably also depends on your hands. I personally think the tenor is the most difficult for me to get the holes covered correctly. The bass, well, I play the bass the most, but it also has more keys, so that helps.
yes. And they make tenors with keys, they make altos with keys.
Yeah.
There's a soprano that each tone hole is its separate tube, so you can arrange it and manipulate it so they can be in any kind of direction you need it to be.
Oh wow. I've seen a keyed soprano too. I think a Novo. There's
Okay.
some kind of recorder that it's supposed to be kind of more of a beginner, uh, or help you train. So if you don't have the dexterity to cover all the holes, you can.
Mhm.
It's got keys on it.
Mm-hmm.
I had two students in the same year that were missing all but they had both of their thumbs and they each had 2 or 3 fingers combined on both hands. And we were able to arrange music so that they were playing uh, the top, all the notes that they could get with this.
Hmm.
Wasn't much, but I had a girl that she rocked it. She loved it. She was going to do anything she could. So she held it with this hand. This is the held it with this thumb and just played. And she would put rest in if we couldn't figure out a note that would fit. It's great. Oh, key recorder.
Hmm.
I think that's the right link. That was a really long link.
Guitar
Yeah.
is one. Neat.
Yeah, and it's only $15, so
Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Don't let your hands bother. And it could be that Rhiannon, that all you needed was like a thumb rest to let your hand not have to feel like you're holding the whole weight
Yeah.
of with all of your fingers.
It's also just I have the same problem with the harp. I just have an abnormally short fourth finger,
Yeah.
so I didn't have the wind for it, so
Now, well, that doesn't.
I I had backed off. I had backed off even before the pandemic. That like I'm just a shallow breather. So for a secondary, I do have a question about. So I own the Yamaha Sopranino, and
Yes.
it's not in tune with itself. Like the entire rest of the Yamaha is fabulous, and yet the Yamahas are not, or the Sopraninos are not fabulous. Dude, I'm looking at you and Elizabeth, or Skaya as well, if you know. What brand of plastic? Um,
No.
how does one get a better Sopranino where they're taking
my
it seriously?
mine is an Aulos. Um,
Mm. Mine is an
actually,
LMI. L
I'm gonna write that down.
M I.
Say it again. Wait, Elizabeth, stop typing, and then Delphina talk. All right, you've got the Alos 500. What was it that Delphina said she had? Okay.
LMI.
Okay. Uh,
So Aulos is like kind of the other good plastic brand other than Yamaha, and their 500 line. I've got like the whole set because I got a good deal off eBay. But they have they go from Garkland to bass,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Um, and of course, the Garkland and the Sopranino are more kind of like sound effects novelties than something you probably want to play that often.
and that's definitely how Yamaha views them, right? That like when you were talking about the fact that some of them have straight holes and some of them have the curved. All of the Yamaha have curved, except for their Sopranino, which is straight. Um, I
I think my Aulos are straight now that I look at them. The Sopranino and the Garkland. It might just be kind of a manufacturing thing. They're getting so small that it's difficult to get a true curved windway.
yeah.
That's
But these are
I
straight.
I think
straight.
these are not viewed as real instruments too, right? Like that, like you're saying,
Yeah,
they're novelties. They're something that you
I
that
think I mean they kind of are, and
yeah.
it might also be that when you get to a higher instrument, you really have to have good
It could be. It might be.
control. A little variance in wind pressure is going to make a more noticeable difference than if you're on a big instrument.
Hmm.
So, and you have to play, they're loud and you have to play them boldly.
Yeah. Cannot sit in the corner. You
Hmm.
must stand up and play the piccolo solo.
The best things about these are Al Coffrin hates them, so, just annoying him.
Both of them are just the littlest.
Well, he hates Garkland, but I mean, Sopranino's up there too, so he really doesn't like Soprano that much. I mean, it's understandable. If you've got a room full of people playing Sopranos who don't know how to play, you would know this better than anyone, Delphina. It's not the most beautiful sound.
That's when you go,
So,
"Beep," but you're playing too loud. Back off.
yes.
It's a you know it's that thing that if you're at an outside demo and there's only one melody player and they play alto, one would like them to also own a sopranino because the alto can't be heard, right? Like if you've only got the one melody instrument and you're out in an outdoor space, and then they're trying to do dancing as well, which is why I would like to own a good sopranino to carry around so that I could be like, and
Yeah.
here a person who plays much better than I do. Here is the other F instrument that is
Yeah.
louder. So
Well, I actually have two of these. There's a story behind that, and so I don't need two of them. So if you really want, one could come your way.
well, I would take it. You know, just know that that's what's going to happen with it is I
Yes.
will carry it around and hand it on. Um,
Yeah. But
uh,
every recorder, even if a finger is the same, is going to take kind of different skill. You know, like I said, with the breath, like if you're used to playing an alto and then you give someone a sopranino, the amount of air and the is going to be different. So, I mean, they're not going to sound fabulous if they've never played it.
No, it won't take them long to get there, though.
But we're the SCA. It's for fun.
Fun.
out
One thing
outside
for
with
you,
dancers, right? Like I like yeah.
both Sopranos. This is my wooden kind of Renaissance, and this is the plastic Eco Deer plant.
If I if I
The
played a tiny bit better, I would really want the Dream because I think the Dream carries and has it right like it
yeah,
fills a space with sound much better than the Baroques. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a really cool recorder because
hear how it changes the pitch when you try to get louder, but
that's just recorders.
yeah, but it fills spaces.
mhm.
Um,
It's got a bigger sound.
It's
It
got a bigger Renaissance sound, but it also has a bigger range than a typical an actual Renaissance recorder will have a limited range. You won't be able to play as many notes, but the Dream is designed so you can play the larger range. So
got
it's like the best of both worlds.
two. You've got two complete octaves if you're on C, and a little bit. I haven't gotten the C sharp or D to come out yet, and I don't like it, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah. I've never tried to play more than two octaves on anything, but I'm not that serious. Even though I have a lot of recorders, I kind of just got a deal. I'm not that serious about them.
well,
But
that um, well, thank you so much. This has been really, you know, you said all sorts of, you know, tidbits that I didn't know. So, um,
Yeah,
and
that's a
hopefully
fabulous handout. Thank you.
and even the things that I do know, always good to remind me of
mhm.
such things. Um,
Hopefully, I said it differently and heard some of it at least. That's a reason to take classes from different people, even if it's a class you know something about. They
Yes.
might say it just slightly different, and you will learn something from it.
I'm going to jump off and join another class, but thank you so much. And I look forward to playing together soon,
Yeah.
hopefully. Yay.
mhm, mhm.
And don't go anywhere. I'm sorry, I've forgotten how to say your name. She just taught.
Just Elizabeth. Or,
No,
oh, you're talking about, oh, sorry.
Skaya, I think,
Saya.
if I'm,
I need to get your email address so I can send this handout to you. So don't go anywhere yet. Okay.
see you Monday.
See you Monday. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Get glasses that I can see with. Make sure you get this. Okay. Let's see. SKAIA dot NOVOODSKAIA Gmail. I want to make sure you have it before we log off, if you don't mind. And we were supposed to be here until later anyway, so I know we're not taking up a different classes. Okay, let me double check. SKAIA dot NOV. Okay, what goes here? I didn't get the G. Glad I looked. NOGORODSKAIA. Alrighty. It has been sent. Let's see if it goes through. No, it didn't. Let's try again then.
Sierra, Kilo, Alpha, Indigo, Alpha, Dot, November, Oscar, Victor,
See where my
Golf,
mistake.
Oscar, Romeo, Oscar, Delta, Sierra, Kilo, Alpha, India, Alpha. Hello?
All right, start again.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to have a very difficult email address.
Well, if I would just type it the way you put it in, it would be great. At least it's back saying, you can't do it this way.
It showed up.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope you have a fantastic time teaching the other people at 6 a.m.
Oh, me too. Well, you take care. And
You
Philippe,
too.
thank you so much for being our moderator. I really appreciate you being here.
No problem. I'm gonna end the call and stop the recording now, if that's okay.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye bye. See ya.